Well, that workout was amazing. I do want to say this one thing to y'all. I just pray that if you are in a place where you find happiness or you experience some level of happiness, I pray that you can also find the courage to accept it. You know, a lot of us have been through such toxic dynamics, such toxic relationships that the moment something great shows up, we sabotage the fuck out of it out of fear of it being fucked up anyway. And then we try to figure out why the fuck do we keep repeating cycles of the same experience in relationships. Ask yourself, that last relationship you were in, that last connection you had, that last friendship you were in, how the fuck did you operate in your power? How did you operate in your shadow? And then think about if that really contributed to the destruction of the relationships that you've experienced. So, we got to talk about really healing our past traumas and really addressing the self-sabotage in relationships, okay? It's very crazy that I'm coming to this moment. Obviously, everything that is kind of inspired within what I do comes from my own experiences and whatnot. But I've just noticed, like, you know, February was slick, not the easiest month.
Stop it. Get some help.
There were some toxic relationships. There were some toxic exchanges. There was some, you know, I just feel like it all boils down to habits within yourself and, you know, really channeling inner and out the things that do not serve us. You know what I mean? Just recognizing, it's like, I feel like I'm literally repeating January's vlog all over again, in essence of this time it wasn't me experiencing it. It was me witnessing this destructive habit, like literally tearing down an entire relationship, you know. And then we always want to say like, well, it's tearing down a perfectly good relationship. We have all of these great boundaries and things and foundations to, you know, set to build on, but really question the foundation of which your relationships are built on, because you really think you have solid people around you. You really, and this is not for me to like plant a seed of like distrust or like questioning, you know, the person that you're dealing with or anything like that in the back of your mind. This is really for you to question yourself, you know what I mean? And honestly explain and tell yourself, you know, give yourself some real solid reasons why you have the people around you that you have around you. Like, what are they benefiting? What are you benefiting of having these people around you? You know what I mean? Like, why do you even really want to be in this relationship with this person? Why do you even really want to be friends with these specific people? You know what I mean? Like, what energy is it that they're bringing you that is beneficial to your growth spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, physically? You know what I mean? Because often, a lot of the times, we find ourselves in dynamics where eventually we feel depleted as fuck. But it's only because there was never an equal giving of the exchange of energy that was being received there. You know what I mean? You can't be the only person in the dynamic or the only person in the relationship or the only person in the friendship who is filling everybody up with all of this most abundant energy and all of the spirit and all of the, you know what I mean? You can't be the only person in the dynamic who wants to focus on solution-based, you know, energy. You know what I mean? Because nobody's perfect. We all got problems. We all got shit that we're dealing with, that we're going through. But if you're a solution-based person, like I know I am in certain situations, like I don't care if I did do something wrong or if I did offend somebody, like I'm course correcting always in my life. It's an everyday process. You know what I mean? Getting used to having to course correct your energy. You know what I'm saying? So I just really feel like I just want to share this energy, you know what I mean? And then too, if you are, I know I'm probably popping from one topic to the next, but also understand your worth when it comes to relationships. Understand when boundaries need to be set. You know what I mean? Because I think also often a lot of the times in relationships, we find ourselves repeating these past cycles. Like, why are we constantly in these cycles? Why are we constantly feeling this energy? Why are we constantly experiencing this same dynamic just with a different face? You have to really learn when to apply pressure on your boundaries. Like when people need to be cut the fuck off. Like when Oprah said, when people show you who they are the first time, believe them. Okay? Believe them. Because, excuse me, patterns and habits, destructive or non, are always going to repeat themselves. Okay? So whoever a person is, they ain't going to be able to hide it for long. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to hide who you are for long. Eventually, that inner self, eventually that inner conflict, eventually that inner voice, whether it's good or bad, negative or positive, however you want to label it, is always going to find its way to the surface, especially if you're a person that's dealing with things and dealing with issues and you like to tuck it under the rug and not really address what it is that you're dealing with, you know? And so my recent experience in having to cut somebody out of my life was definitely due to betrayal. It was definitely due to just not being in a place where one is ready to just grow. And you know what I mean? And when I say when you're not ready to grow, the lesson of life is always evolve or repeat. You know what I mean? And I just feel like when you keep repeating certain patterns, you know, the lesson just gets harder. The hurt and the pain just gets thicker. The damage just grows in the entity itself, whether it's a person, the habit that you're doing, whatever it is, it continues. It's like a ball. Like you just, a little ball of snow you done balled up in your hand, but you roll it across the ground a couple of times. You roll it around enough, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then by the time, it's a snowball effect. You know what I mean? If you don't make the decision to course correct in your life, you know what I mean? You tear other people down. For my people who have addictive behaviors, addictive habits, I can't tell you release them. That's very easier said than done. But you should do whatever it is that you feel like you should do to try to nip that stuff in the bud, because it is really not helping you. It is really not helping you. It's a level of escapism that's keeping you from addressing what your deeper rooted issues are. I'm going to say it again. If you are addicted, if you have addictions, because a lot of people that have addictions, until they end up really in a fucked up situation where they end up really having to go seek help, don't really realize that they have a problem and don't really want to admit that they really do have a problem. So whatever your addiction may be, whatever your excessive escapism choice is, really try to refrain from having that at least as much, so that you can see where the real issues are. Because I'm not going to say stop cold turkey. That's one of the number one reasons why people that are addicted to substance abuse never quit. Because they're probably with somebody or have somebody in their life that thinks that this shit is just not rocket science. And really it isn't. But you really think that it's just a one and done type of thing. Like, oh, wake up tomorrow, just don't ever smoke again, just don't ever drink again, and you're going to be great. That's not how that works. You know what I mean? It's like stopping anything cold turkey. The moment you tell yourself mentally, I can no longer have this, it seems like another signal is lit off in your brain, like, this is all I want, this is all I want, this is all I want. So a lot of people find themselves relapsing every time they try to quit because they try to go cold turkey. But there are methods that can help you. I wish that there was somebody that I could partnership with, or have a sponsorship with, when it comes down to like alcoholism and substance abuse and things of that particular nature. And as it pertains to dealing with the deeper rooted issues, of which I feel like a lot of people are just trying to avoid. You know, I really feel like it's kind of hard because I feel like my life purpose is very centered in this type of work that I'm doing right now. Not only is it shadow work for myself, but it also brings awareness to the things that my audience are also going through. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just the limiting belief patterns, the insecurities, the lies, the deception. Like, people really need to get to a place where they can be completely honest with themselves. You know what I mean? Completely honest with themselves about where they are. Be transparent with yourself. And I really feel like a lot of the other energy that you're going through or experiencing can really be handled so much more with delicacy and care when you're dealing with other people, as long as you learn to have that same love and compassion for yourself. You know what I mean? Another important thing, if you're going through a tough time in a relationship dynamic, and maybe you had to just recently break up with someone or something of that particular nature, or clear out some friends, letting the past go is really the energy of this month. You know what I mean? It's like a cleansing. February brought this level of a cleansing in. Like, it brought all of the shit to the forefront. Boop, boop, like a cherry on top, like a blister, like a pimple. It brought all the shit to the top, allowed it to burst, and now it's time to clear all of this out so that we can, you know, gain new skills, or sales is what I mean. Dead skills. We're not fish, CeeLo. But gain new cells, you know, a new cellular cycle is beginning. You know what I mean? And I just really feel like February did really open my eyes to a lot. You know what I mean? It's like certain experiences, you can't even make the shit up. Like, that's why I love saying I can't make it up. I cannot make this shit up. Like, legit. When you're not even looking for shit that's gonna disturb the foundation of your relationship and you're still slapped in the face with it, that's like nothing but God trying to show you and trying to redirect you where your energy needs to be focused, from pulling it away from where it does not need to be focused. And, you know, really February was very much a theme month for my experience in reference to like me recognizing like all of the relationships that have torn down as of since 2022 has hit. Because we ain't but in Q1 still. And losses had to be made. Cuts had to be made. You know what I mean? Tryouts are done, but cuts have to be made. You know what I mean? And I just really feel like God gives us these experiences to show us like exactly who is deserving of being around us for where we're headed. You know what I mean? And I just really feel like the people that's been cut out of my life, it's like no matter how much I might have wanted to like, oh, I love you so much, I don't want you to go, I would just want it to be here. I just want us to have like this beautiful, just whatever in the future, and just lifelong friends, and just forever and happily ever after, and just all of this bullshit. Because that's really what it is. Like we get in this rose-colored glasses mode. As soon as we find something we like, as soon as we find somebody we like, as soon as we find a show that we like, as soon as we find a habit we like, it's like you get in this just idealistic phase where you feel like anything is possible. You know what I mean? You ever felt like that when you dating somebody or you talking to somebody? Like, we could fucking conquer the world together. And then over time, you find yourself drained because you realize the level of work that needs to be done in order to get us to a stable place as it pertains to like collective energy. Collectively, we're not there yet. Collectively, we're not spiritually yoked. Collectively, we're not emotionally yoked. Connectively, we're not physically yoked. You know, one person may like to go work out, the other one want to be lazy and stay in the house. One person may have one specific belief about God or spirituality. The other person's shit may not really be in alignment with that. One person may be very ambitious, want to go get their bag, want to be creative every day. And the other person just still trying to figure it out, don't know who they are, don't know where they going, don't know what they want. The other person want marriage and want happily ever after and want to have kids and want to have a house and want to do this and want to do that. And the other person is like still out here entertaining other dynamics behind your back. It's just kind of like, over time, you will start to see like how you and a person are not in alignment. And I do often really feel like that the energy that we give in relationship dynamics, wine sponsors, I'm here, I'm ready. But like, I just really feel like self-sabotage is really a real thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm probably insert a clip here that I posted on my Insta story one day on my, as a reel. I posted it as a reel. I did post it in my story, and then I posted it as a reel because I felt like, listen back to it, I felt like the message was so valuable and it's so accurate. But it's just really like, I just hate that we've all experienced such trauma that as soon as something amazing shows up in our life, the immediate reaction is that we feel undeserving. So then what do? You start sabotaging that connection. You start sabotaging those relationships with negative thought patterns. What if they talking about me behind my back? What if they really just using me to come up? What if this person don't really want me? They just like me for sex. What if this person is, you know what I mean? So it's like, find yourself in relationships that God sent you. You know, allow God to start sending you the connections that you deserve and the connections that you should have. Let the universal energy of divine order send to you exactly who it is you're supposed to be experiencing, because we find ourselves conveniently in these dynamics with people. Oh, I work with this person, I met them there. Oh, I went to the club, I met them there. Oh, I was at a party, I met them there. It don't mean because y'all were attracted to each other that y'all supposed to end up even delving into that energy. But God will put you and fix you in such a place for you to gain these level of jewels, because it's always about a lesson. Never think, oh, it's so beautiful in the beginning. Oh, baby, it's finna be some heavy shit that's gonna come behind it, okay? Whether it's good heavy or bad heavy, it's gonna always be a lesson to be learned through connecting with others, okay? That's what we all here for. But the thing I think that bites me the most is I even feel like in my past relationship, to a degree, I may have sabotaged the fuck out of that relationship. All due to me not being financially where I wanted to be in my own process to be able to comfortably cater to a man. You know what I mean? For me, it was uncomfortable to have a man love me so much and want to be up under me all day and want to just take me out every weekend and just want to, like, I did not know what to do with all of that. I'm so used to just being a busybody and just workaholic and just focused on this and focused on that and just doing what I want to do in the moment, that I didn't really know how to carve out time to, like, cater to my man in a very healthy way, cater to my relationship in a very healthy way, cater to myself in a very healthy way, cater to my son, cater to my mom, cater to my work, cater to my creative aspects, and then keep all of that shit in a very balanced nature. I did not know how. And it was making me so depressed. It was making me so unhappy that I checked completely out of the relationship because I didn't know how to balance it all. It just felt like too much. And then not only did I have a kid, but he had a kid. So it was like, you just went from mom, daughter, work, life balance to like mom, daughter, work, damn near probably would end up being fiance type vibe, to stepmom, to like creative, to just like, it was like, whoa, God, like I can barely keep my own fucking thoughts on in alignment. This right here is doing too much for me. You know what I mean? And I was overwhelmed. I was very much overwhelmed. You know, I just didn't feel comfortable in a dynamic where, I was being demanded. Like a lot of my time was being demanded to be spent with this man because this is my guy. He want to love me. He want to be with me, you know? And I think when I think back on the experiences of how unhappy I was, granted, I do think I made the right choice to leave that relationship because me being in a very unhappy place with self alone just did not do the relationship any good service, and it did not do the other person a good deed or good service if I was not healed from certain things that we also had gone through. And then, you know, just being able to move on from that. You know what I mean? Because the graces of healing is just, don't bring up the shit every day. If you're going to move on out of a conflict or a conflicting situation with a person, move on from this shit. Get back with them, go work through it, or do the healing, do the self-work. You don't do what you need to do to heal yourself, but, be willing to do the necessary work. You know what I mean? So, I don't want to ramble y'all too much. You know, I've done that already. But I know I needed to give a little bit more of a testimonial energy to this specific vlog because there's a lot of pieces within the original vlog that I was going to drop that I now have to cut out because I'm just like, God, it's going to take a ring to get a man in video with me on camera. Like, it's going to take a whole lot of financial stability, a whole lot of being able to like build a brand together. Like what did Future say in that song? Dead at going toxic, but I still love him. I don't care because I agree with both ways, dark and light. It just depends on how it's being applied and knowing when to check out of one and check into the other. He say, he said, some like, who better for you than me? It better be about an image. Tell me y'all that it's a gimmick. Some shit like that. But it was like, I think that's the part I'm thinking of in the song, but it's really something else I feel like I'm thinking of where he says something about it got to be brand related. Something like that he say. But yeah, for sure. Moving forward, like, it's a no for me. Yeah, gotta have equal being able to give and take reciprocity and start going into relationship dynamics like that so that you don't get overwhelmed with, oh my God, this nigga broke, he ain't got no money, he can't never do this for me, he can't never do, like, you don't want to go into a situation dynamic with the wrong thing as the foundation of the relationship, whether it's just because you was lonely or you just want sex or this person got good sex. Like, do not let your relationships be built on those things. Sex and all of that shit really ain't supposed to be happening until marriage. But if you do happen to go there, I think it's really a thing of just being patient with your process, but not excluding what your deal breakers are. Because I mean, realistically, if you don't have money, either side, neither one of y'all deserve to be dating right now. Like, you can still have friends, and if y'all gonna be very understandable in a situation with each other, to understand, like, this is where I am in my process, I'm not really there yet to be able to do XYZ in the third, and then y'all are both like just gonna go Dutch every time y'all go on date, you catch your own bill, I catch mine, then that's different. But you know, unfortunately, a lot of us have had, well, I ain't gonna say unfortunately, fortunately, a lot of us have had a different experience where we've dated men that could really afford to, like, treat us, you know? So that's even going from a different mindset of you being able to be in a situation and a dynamic where you're used to the man being able to initiate that without it hurting his pockets ever. And, you know, then if you decide to date a guy who is a little bit less fortunate when it comes down to finances, then now you have to compromise your own belief system or values or core beliefs, because, like, how long do you expect to wait on that? Like, building finances, building pinnacles, y'all see me talk about it all the time in my readings. Building pinnacles is not an overnight process, tweets. Like, building financial stability takes time. Even if you're invested into the stock market, like, that shit takes time before you're gonna really see a big turnaround as far as dividends are considered, and like you really coming off that shit with something. It's gonna take years of investing time into that. So, you know, a lot of us, it ain't about, I don't want to tell anybody ever to sacrifice themselves under the name of like patience or anything like that. But if you know that a person is not at least equally where you are in life, that, you know, being patient and going along that journey with that person ain't gonna be a burden, then by all means do your thing. But if you like life-wise got like a 10-year gap between where somebody is and where you are, don't even play yourself. Like, don't even play yourself. You plan yourself to even think that that person is gonna catch up to you. Growth just don't happen that way. It really doesn't. Like, you're gonna be miserable as shit waiting on somebody to grow the fuck up and get their shit together, while you're borderline, like, blink of an eye, right opportunity, you together. You know what I mean? So don't let people pull your energy down. Check who you're surrounding yourself with, and do the necessary clearing to make sure that you are mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually in a healthy place before tying yourselves to somebody, because these cycles can get very, very fucking repetitive, and you really don't want to just be that girl or be that guy who like just settled and spent all of this time trying to cultivate a relationship, building somebody up who was ultimately like never ready to build themselves up or check the energies that needed to be cleared before they could even start doing the building. Okay, so I love y'all so much. Y'all know where to find me. comeclowe on IG. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to these messages, y'all. I really want to come back with more vlog energy, more energy to really like, you know, tap in on with y'all. So I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all later.